evening, and thank you for joining us on the Gulf Coast Sports Network. We're coming to you live from Weeki, Wachee, Florida, for our special event broadcast of the 2021 Weeki, Wachee High School graduation ceremonies. This live broadcast is proudly presented by Dynasty Collision and Auto Repair. Dynasty is proud to partner with the Hernando County School System. Owners Dave and Shannon feel that when local businesses are involved and invested in their school system, learning opportunities are enhanced for students and provide growth for our community. Please enjoy the broadcast as we celebrate the 2021 senior class.
Good evening. I'm Tina Cavallino, teacher, senior class co-sponsor, along with Miss Natalie Tarr. Tonight's celebration looks a little different this year, but on behalf of Weeki, Wachee High School and the graduating class of 2021, we welcome you to the graduation ceremony to celebrate this year's graduates. We are going to be a little bit speedy so we get through this and the graduates can actually graduate before the R word. We're not saying that. Okay. So at this time, if everybody could stand and join me in saying the pledge to the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing. Thank you for bringing amazing sounds to Wachee High School. An important thank you as we start the evening. We would like to give a tremendous thank you to Dynasty Auto for sponsoring the live broadcast for this evening. Gulf Coast Sports Network for graciously volunteering their services so we could provide a live stream. Woodside Photography, Herb Jones, and Mark LaBelle for their amazing service. At this time, I'm excited to introduce Mr. Troy LaBarbera.
Good evening and welcome to Weeki Wachee High School's class of 2021 graduation ceremonies. I'm Troy LaBarbera, your principal. I apologize for getting through fast, but I would like to see all my kids cross the stage tonight. Before we begin, I would just like to acknowledge our board members of Hernando County here tonight. We have Mr. John Stratton, Superintendent, Gina Michaelica, Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, Heather Martin, Assistant Superintendent of Business and Support Services, Lisa Cropley, Executive Director of Support Services, and also Lisa Becker, Executive Director of Business Services. Also on the stage, we have Laura Burgess, Assistant Principal, Millie Merman Dudley, Assistant Principal, and Sarah Shelby, Assistant Principal. First, I'd like to thank our faculty, staff for working so hard to bring this to you tonight. I'd like to take a moment to thank all the members of law enforcement who are here tonight. Let's hear it for them. They are truly the unsung heroes of our community. Additionally, I'd like to take a moment to recognize all who are here who are going to or who have served in the military. Please stand up so we can recognize you. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the freedoms and we wouldn't be here tonight. Thank you for serving. Please be seated. I would also at this time, any student from Weeki Wachee High School who is going to enter into the armed services, please stand up for me, please. We currently have 14 between the two sessions. Thank you so very, very much. You are going to go on and do great things, and thank you for your commitment. So, can you hear that, folks? You hear it? That is the sound, the buzzing sound of the hornets when they leave the nest. There's no greater sound. The class of 2021, I got to tell you, is resilient. This swarm of students had to learn how to overcome adversity and adapt to new challenges and a new education culture. They had to go to online learning and then back to face-to-face learning very quickly. You have adapted very well. Folks, please remember to always reach your life potential that you know that you can reach. If you do not, it will be difficult to be happy in life. Please make sure you do that. I want to leave you with one quick quote from Doc from Back to the Future. And it is, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. Thank you for the past 4 years, Weeki Wachee High School Hornets. Let's hear it for you. At this time, we will hear a special message from Superintendent Stratton.
Good evening, graduates, parents, family members, and staff. It's truly an honor to be here tonight to celebrate the 2001 graduating class here at Weeki Wachee High School. As I thought about my message this evening, I reflected on what an amazing time we find ourselves in. While every generation confronts and responds to challenges of the day, we have never experienced anything quite like these last 14 months. But as we come together today, sharing and celebrating this milestone, I look at this group of graduates and I think about what it took to get here. It took resiliency. Whether you have been a Weeki Wachee student all 4 years or only just recently, you had to absorb the changing reality of each day and redirect your focus to complete assignments on time and meet your academic goals. It took cooperation and understanding. When so many of our normal processes and daily routines were so quickly upended, we needed to give each other grace and become part of the effort to keep moving forward. And it certainly took patience. As we navigated our way through this ever-changing school year, we rallied and came to a place where we understood that it was going to take all of us to simply be patient. Patient with the process, patient with each other. And as you prepare to take on tomorrow's dreams, I leave you with this advice. When you confront difficult times, try to be understanding and patient. And if you add just a little bit to that recipe, something called trust, you'll discover that the problems of the day will always reach a natural end, and you will be stronger for it. Students, thank you for allowing me a few moments to join you this evening. High school graduation is such an important memory, not only for the students, but for your families and for your teachers. Enjoy the evening, everyone. You've earned it. And on behalf of the Hernando County School Board and all of the Hernando County School District staff, we congratulate you, class of 2021.
Thank you, Mr. LaBarbera and Superintendent John Stratton. At this time, I would like to welcome our salutatorian, Haley Cruz.
So they told me that we don't have time for my speech, but I actually earned this, and I'm salutatorian, so I'm going to give it anyways, and I don't think the rain is going to kill anybody. And Miranda, you're going to give your speech too, because you also earned it as valedictorian, and I'm not going to let this school rob me of one last thing. So, good evening, everyone. I stand before you today as the class of 2021 salutatorian. This title comes with the privilege of giving a speech, but I must humbly admit that public speaking is not exactly my strong suit. On the bright side, however, I had a pretty solid practice run before this at the 6 o'clock session. But in all seriousness, I hope that I am able to craft a message that will resonate, reassure, and maybe even inspire you as life after high school is just moments away. First and foremost, I would like to begin by saying congratulations to my fellow graduates. We made it. Given the unprecedented challenges that we faced this school year, I would like to express my immense gratefulness to be standing here in person to deliver this speech and to properly celebrate this milestone with all of you tonight. It is no secret that the past year and a half has been one of the most trying times in modern history, between the global pandemic, racial uproars, and political turmoil. So not only did we earn our diplomas, but we did so in an era of chaos and uncertainty. We persevered through an era in which the infamous senioritis was not the only plague that we faced, but it was accompanied by the novel COVID-19 pandemic. For those lucky enough to have classes in person, the experience was masked, distanced, tracked, and tested, and always a small outbreak away from everyone being sent home. However, we adapted to these circumstances and still managed to be graduating high school tonight. And although our final years at Weeki Wachee High were far from ideal, I think there's a silver lining amongst all of this. My point is, as we reflect on the challenges that 2020 and 2021 presented, I believe that this year has served as a testament to our incredible resilience. Considering this, I have no doubt that as we enter adulthood, we can take on whatever life throws at us, because Lord knows it is going to be a roller coaster. Aside from the pandemic, our world was recently overwhelmed with racial discord and political turmoil. Unfortunately, we are living in a time where our graduation ceremony is not the only thing divided into two separate entities, but a world that is becoming left versus right and even black versus white. That being said, I realize that it is easy to get lost within the turbulent social climate we are facing. But with the future in our hands, I encourage you all to be the light and to be the kindness that our world needs now more than ever. Sure, stand behind your beliefs, but also be the mediators and have compassion for others and others' opinions. We hold the power to control what goes viral and what the media feeds upon, so please do not fall into the trap of hatred and dividedness, but instead spread love and light where it is fading. Kindness is contagious, so do not be afraid to give and receive it. Now, class of 2021, back to you guys. As we part ways, I would like to wish everyone the best of luck and success in their future endeavors. Whether you are planning to continue your education at a college or university, pursuing an athletic offer, entering the workforce, or perhaps joining the military, each and every graduate sitting here tonight should be incredibly proud of themselves. As I come to a closing, my speech would not be complete if I did not take the time to thank the special people in my life who have supported me. I would first like to thank my family for their unconditional love and encouragement. I would also like to thank my best friend, Ellie Brannon. She is the one person who has battled out these 4 years by my side, and I could not be more grateful for the memories we've made together. If it weren't for you, girl, I probably would have dropped out. I would also like to give a shout out to my middle school civics teacher, Mr. Cooper. To this day, you still defend the title as my favorite teacher of all time, and you have had an integral impact in my academic career. Thank you for always reassuring me that my crazy ambitions were never out of reach. And Miss Stacy, don't think that I was going to forget about you.
At this time, please help me welcome your class of 2021 valedictorian, Miranda Mays. Now I think it's your turn. And now we will welcome Mr. LaBarbera back to the podium.
Feel the love. And now, before I read the legal certification statement for this year's graduating class, I have a couple requests for our audience tonight. First, the faculty and staff of Weeki Wachee High School would like you to reflect on the importance of this very special event for all of our graduates and their families. The graduates have planned for and deserve a very dignified program. We feel that with everyone's cooperation, each graduate and their family will hear their student's name being announced. I ask that you please respect each one of our senior students by minimizing the applause, noise, and comments until all graduates have received their diplomas. This allows each graduate to have the same opportunity to be recognized for their academic accomplishment. Second, after all the diplomas have been presented and the graduates have completed their cap toss, we will have our closing processional. This is where the seniors exit the field and enter the building to receive their final documents and in the holding area. Families, your seniors will meet you in the parking lot after receiving their documents. Please remain in your seats until the seniors have completed the closing processional, and please exit the stadium immediately upon conclusion so that we can start set up for concluding and breaking down our graduation. So, certification of graduation. Mr. John Stratton and the District Board of Hernando County, on behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration of Weeki Wachee High School, it is indeed my pleasure to certify that these members of the 2021 graduating class have satisfactorily completed all requirements of the law and standards for high school graduation as prescribed by the State Board of Education, their district school board of Hernando County, and Weeki Wachee High School, and should thus be awarded a diploma or certificate of completion. And now, at this time, will the stage party please take their places?
Joelle Martinez. LaFleur. Winter LaFleur. Vanjoel Semprit. Vanjoel Semprit. Van Joel Semprit. Destiny Norman. Brandon Dupree. Kyle Kissel. Alexis Jeppy. Dylan Singh. Josiah Vasquez. Danielle Tullaba. Logan Velez. Joseph Farr. Lacey Barton. Michael Hughes. Hebert, right? Gavin Hebert. Abigail Bear. Isaiah Williams. Kenneth Chamberlain. Brandon Danner. Juliana Pendle. Emma Aponte. Victoria Muzzin. Ellie Brannon. Alexis Brouillard. Melanie Knoll. Ian Hastings. Savannah Steele. Good job, honey. Philip Brown. John Leon. Don't be scared. Jasmine James. Attila Rahman. Brandolyn Strickland Boyce.
Can I say something real quick?
No. Donovan Calloway. Sarah Holtzlander. Blake Alsbach. Julia Muser. Brianna Underwood. Good to see you here. Jezra Millward. Gabriel Viquez. Deja Thornton. Dana Thornton. Giselle Hernandez. Aaron Jimenez. Namaya Wallace Napoleoni. Joshua DeGraff. Darian Cologne. Jacob Eichels. Adrian Hullett. Madison Hanson. Natasha Gillen. No. Tina No. San Inocencio. Noah San Inocencio. Eloy Cavazulo. Paul Sisto. Isaiah Daniel. Victoria De Leon. Michaela Key. What are you doing? Don't fall. Melissa Crespo Hernandez. Leilani Cardona. Hey, beautiful. Janaya Edwards. Hey. Jessica Richter. Nevaeh Ardino. Hunter Young. Mosora, right? Matthew Shea Mosora. Noah Byington. Dylan Hooper. Jacob Olivares. It's Elijah, right? Ahijah. Ahijah Harvey. Dayri Orama. You are good. You did it. Adina Ferris. Alexandra Valsiotis. Dakota Lemons. Sky Hobbs. Asiel Leal. Perry Nation. Jada Davis. Bobby Blue. Heather K. Kenny. Katrina Keys. Joshua Stout. Madison Moran. Malik Chambers. Riley Boyce. Nicholas Rogers. Caden Fisher. Maximo Escobar. Hudson High. Jonathan Pryor. Good job, bud. Careful. Julia Brooks. And the third. Patrick Murillo the third. Isiel. Isael Gomez. Madeline Pino. Stephen Hurst. Dakota Spencer. Brant Butler. Levi Harmatuck. Tatiana Gary. Thank you. Hang on a second, Amber. Amber Swaro. And Christian Miller. As we close, I want to remind you that after the cap toss, seniors will conduct the closing processional. Please remain seated until after they have exited. After the graduates pick up their documents in the gym, they will join their families in the parking lot. Please. Okay. So now I would like to now please welcome Mr. LaBarbera back to the front of the stage for the turning of the tassel. Remember, right to left.
Yes. All right, seniors. At this time, join me in the American tradition called the turning of the tassel. Now, remember, you're going from right to left. This signifies the recognition of earning a degree and thus officially ends your time as a high school student. As you move your tassel from right to left, you join a much larger family. That as a Weeki Wachee High School alumni. Hornets, it's time. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Turn your tassel. I don't see anyone throwing caps. Thank you. Please go into the gymnasium to receive your documents. This concludes our session.